Welcome, everybody. It's another exciting edition of the Sports Hole coming to you later in the week than usual. We got lives. We want to cover the NBA tonight while it's going live, and you can listen to our takes in live time.
I'm an idiot that put $50 on the Pacers to win the series at plus 475.
That's not an idiot, man. What do you just happen to win the series? I didn't read it fully. I just saw that you had the Pacers. Did you put like in a certain amount or just to win in general?
Just got to win the series.
So how much will you win if they win?
I think like 300.
Why did you pick the Pacers?
Well, the value is so good. You're getting like 5-1 on your money, pretty much. And my heart, it's a very hard bet, like my brain obviously says OKC is the best team, but there's something about the Pacers that I really love that I just find like there's something magical that I want to.
Team of Destiny vibe.
So I had a couple extra bucks. I've been having a couple good poker weeks. And I said, fuck it. It's great odds. Let's just, for shits and giggles, let's do it. And I'm happy with they're down by 9 going into the fourth. They were down by 16 with like 4 minutes against the Knicks. They were down by 20 the first 2 games against the Cavs in the fourth. I believe in this team. And Haliburton, we trust. Pacers in 4. Let's fucking go to the Sports Hole.
Wow. Well, the good news is when they fell behind, it's because they had 19 turnovers in the first half. That's a lot of turnovers.
That is. Look, it ain't going to be pretty, but this is what they do. It's how you finish. It's not how you end.
I could see it'd be awesome if every game in this series was a come-from-behind victory.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's
for either team.
I know what I'm against. I'm not like, this is a lock. This is like going to the roulette wheel and putting 50 on like a random number, But just because my heart and I love the way the Pacers play, I kind of weirdly believe, but I mean, it's a stupid bet for sure.
Are you gonna make some other bets, some prop bets or anything?
No, I will later. But this, I just had like my brother-in-law won $100 on it. I sold him on it. And I warned him. I said, "This is a dumbass bet." He goes, "I don't care. I'm gonna ride with you."
I might fuck around for the rest of the series and just bet first basket props.
The other thing too, if it's like 2-2, you can cash out. So if by chance they
do not cash out, Maddie.
Ooh. Yeah, I know you're not a hedge guy. I get it.
No, that's not even hedging. That's cashing out. That's different.
I know. I like cashing out. I'm a pussy.
Cashing out is worse.
But you know what they say? They say you are what you eat, right?
A cash out?
No, pussy.
Okay, man.
You never heard that? You are what you eat?
No, I know. I'm
That's
just
fair,
fucking.
That's fair.
One time this comic goes, "You are what you eat, so I'm a pussy. I'm never a dick." Not a good comedian, let's just say.
All right. What's this game at now?
11 and OKC going to the line, so it doesn't look good. But hey, you just got to
OKC's deep. That's the thing is they can make these runs, but OKC's got the
dude. Again, Indiana was down by 16 to the Knicks with like 3 minutes to go.
Well, that was insane.
What they do.
Well, that's also why Tom Thibodeau is no longer employed.
Yeah, I felt bad for the guy. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong.
This is like his third team or something, right?
I think.
I feel like Tom Thibodeau's perfect spot is like getting a team to the spot, and then he can't take them any further. He can't take them to like the next level.
Well,
yeah, I think
a lot of people describe him. They say he's a floor raiser, not a ceiling raiser.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I also think in these times, you get Karl-Anthony Towns. He didn't have a great playoffs, and you go, well, can't fire the player because you made this big trade, you invested him. But you can fire the coach. And if Malone got fired in Denver with a ring, and a couple of these other guys got fired, like anybody can get fired here. Like the NBA is pretty fickle with coaches.
Now they're talking possibly Malone to the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great coach. I
Pitino
mean,
does not want the job, apparently.
who doesn't?
Rick Pitino.
What about Jay
Yeah,
Wright?
he failed so bad with the Celtics.
What about Nick Wright?
Oh,
But I think
Jay
Tibbs will
Wright,
get.
I could not see him coaching pros at all.
I think Tibbs gets another job
I'd love to
eventually,
see it
but
though.
I
he
would.
did it. He did a good job. He got a raw
Tibbs
deal.
will always work, I feel.
Coaching sucks.
He'll get another job.
He's a good guy. He's like he's the new Doug Collins, just
Yeah.
get a team to a good, a good starting level and then then get fired and move on.
There's
Tibbs is
rumors
bold.
even Doc Rivers.
Oh God. It's just
Where do you see
trash.
Tibbs going?
What's
I don't
that?
know.
Where do you see Tibbs going?
I probably whatever shit team needs
Who
a
knows?
coach. I don't
Who
know.
knows?
It's hard to kind of justify him to put him on a contender, so I would
Yeah.
In the Phoenix.
Well, if Phoenix dumps everybody like they should,
Yeah.
they
no,
gotta
because they're
start
still
over.
going to be left with like Devin Booker, probably somebody who still should be you should be able to build around. I wouldn't fuck with him if I was that.
You know, I think
Whatever
he's a
like
better
shit
coach than
team needs a coach.
I think he's a better coach than Tyronn Lue, but I don't know if the Clippers are going to get rid of Lue.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
we're at
see.
12, 89-77, 11 minutes to go.
Yeah. We'll check back in on that in a little bit. Anthony, we'll just keep on basketball for a sec here. Anthony Edwards, a lot of people, I know we only do the show once a week, so I know this is like kind of last week's news, but a lot of people are thinking he takes too many threes now. And it's not good. And I don't know if you guys saw that clip of MJ where he talks and he's like, I don't take a lot of threes because those people just end up hanging out by the 3-point line and they get kind of lazy and they're not as active and stuff like that. The only one, Steph Curry, I think, is just an exception to that rule, for
He
sure.
got exposed a little because he had such a great playoff run last year. Everybody expected he would even go above what he did last year. And I thought he much lower. They were terrible against Oklahoma City. He got lucky that Curry got hurt because I don't think they beat the Warriors if Curry's not hurt. You're like now questioning, is he that dude or just like a really good player that had a really great playoff run a year ago? Because he's great, but is he like a champion? Like I'm watching SGA out here and I'm like, this guy's a champion.
Yes.
And I don't know. Edwards has the talent, but I don't know. I was so disappointed by how bad they played that series.
I just back to the back to the 3-pointer thing. So when you're like the star guy and if you're just hanging out by a 3-point line, that does nothing for anybody else. Okay. So, but if you're driving and dishing, you're attracting multiple defenders, things
active
like that.
all the time.
Facilitating.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you can facilitate. You just create more opportunities for everybody else, even if you're not scoring. And to just jack threes up is kind of dumb. If you have that kind of talent,
Yeah, but he might not have that kind of talent. And
he does.
He does.
We've seen him. I mean, he was like unguardable last year. I mean, when he wants to drive, he's unguardable.
No, I understand, but if you don't have that cerebral game to think the game, like he doesn't have the talent that Larry Bird has, but Larry Bird had the ideas of like other players, like Reggie Miller is a great example where he doesn't have the body of like a great NBA player, but he knew exactly what to do and how to get the most of his talent. You're like, is Anthony Edwards maximizing everything? Because I think basketball is a game where the star player has to be a little selfish. Like you want your star to be fucking selfish. And if he needs to score 10 points in a row, those guys like Jordan and Kobe, they fucking did it, like they took it and it was like my faith in the game is through me and I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah,
And
I'm trying to picture like everybody else with that roster compared to what other teams are putting
well,
out
they
on the
don't have a
court.
lot.
Right.
No,
And I'm just like, I go, could Jordan take this team to the finals? I don't think
He would
so.
have had a better series than Edwards. That's for sure.
Probably, yeah. I think he would have definitely done better because, again, he was just super active everywhere all the
Yeah.
time.
There were some games Edwards had 2.5 shots.
Right.
You're
That
like,
shit ain't
how is your
happening.
star player have two
You
shots?
have to sort of like get to this level where you're willing your team to win.
Exactly.
Like
And you
even
got
if
to
they're
do what
not
you
the
got to
best,
do.
that's what I think really puts people into that next stratosphere of player.
Mhm.
It sucks because this guy's got all the talent in the world as far as physical attributes, but yeah, I mean, I hope he could because the NBA needs a megastar like soon too. Like
Well, he ain't that dude just yet. A
I
great
know not
player, a
yet, but
superstar, but as far as like a championship player,
yeah,
he's not there yet. Granted, OKC, SGA has a lot more around him, but their run versus, I don't even count Golden State because losing Curry just, Curry is the MVP of that team by far. And you see, like, I had a friend that was like, dude, Curry only has one NBA Finals MVP. I'm like, yeah, because teams triple team him, and then other guys, he is the guy.
right. Steph's gravity, as it's known.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Edwards isn't there yet. He could get there. He has the potential,
I
but
mean,
if
he's
he
still a very
doesn't,
young man,
it's not
so
a horrible thing.
yeah. Sometimes it just takes a few years of figuring it out,
Or it never happens.
or it never happens.
Like the
he's
guy
still young
Devin
though.
on what's the guy on Phoenix? Devin, like when
Devin
they made the
Booker.
finals, you felt like they were gonna get there every year, and now
Yeah.
they're not even close. And he's just a good player. And for a moment, we're like, oh my God, he's the next superstar.
Yeah. All
Jim, you
right.
look out of it, bro. You look like you're on a bender, dog.
Maddie, I went to bed at like 4 in the morning.
Oh, you
Well, I
poor
feel you,
fucking
dog.
thing.
You
Um,
seriously look like you had an all weekend bender though.
I wish. I
Like
fucking wish.
coke, gambling,
Just wait till next week. It's the UFL championship.
this
oh, you're gonna be
weekend
all
tonight.
fucked
This
up.
weekend. Who's in the
No, it's next
finals?
week. Next week, baby.
Who's in the
The
final?
CFL started tonight, though. Canadian League.
Oh God.
We got Canadian football on.
Just when you
That
thought you
that'd
were
be
gonna
amazing if they
sleep.
beat the ratings of the NBA.
Saskatchewan versus Ottawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is Ottawa?
The Red Blacks.
The Red Blacks. That makes a lot of sense. I got a bone to pick with the Eagles.
Okay.
Ooh,
Push push
okay.
stuff.
So, okay, so you're like a football player, right? And you make a
Mhm.
lot of money, right? And you're the
Mhm.
coach and you make a lot of money. And so what happens is there's basically like these sort of fucking shady promotion called Life Surge that is a touring Christian financial seminar that promises attendees a blueprint to grow and use wealth for kingdom impact. This is basically what they do is they get you in for about $97 and then they really press you hard for personal mentorship, which then goes up to like $40,000. And you have a lot of the members of the Eagles, including Sirianni, Cooper DeJean, Saquon Barkley, Brandon Graham, and Brian Dawkins, are all getting paid to appear on this shit, which to me just sounds like total fucking horseshit. It's not like you're even promoting like a soda pop or a McDonald's or so, like you're promoting
Pyramid
a
scheme.
total bullshit fucking organization. And I'm just like, how much money out of all those guys, maybe Cooper DeJean's still on that rookie contract, needs a little extra scratch, but come the fuck
He
on.
also might be like indoctrinated into like a cult from his Iowa days. Who knows?
I get that. And this is under the guise of Christianity, but it's also just a fucking financial, and I'm just like, I really fucking I've gone so weary of this with these people that get paid to promote bullshit when their regular job makes them so much fucking money too. And then
I
you
can't
use your
answer it,
goodwill
man.
of your fans to get them wrapped up in this utter like fucking nonsense, borderline SEC, breaking the laws fucking organization. I mean, like, fuck those guys.
That's gross.
Yeah.
So who did you say it was Sirianni, DeJean, Barkley, and
Brandon Graham, Saquon Barkley, and then one of the other guys. And I'm just like, this is, yeah. I mean, how do you guys feel about your favorite celebrities promoting things? I mean, some things I get, other things I'm like, why are you doing that?
I just gotta play a little devil advocate.
Please.
I mean, there's things I might really protest to, but whatever. Like, I don't look at these guys as my friends or anything. I look at them as like, I watch them play. Guys that are good, I admire. I wouldn't take any of their advice about anything. So, like, I don't really care.
That's not devil's advocate. That's saying you just are unaffected by it.
But if people are dumb enough to pay for it and if they have fun, I mean, it's their life. I don't know.
Maddie, but this thing is not like, even stupid shit like fucking all this shit Ryan Reynolds promotes. This is like a borderline scam that could get people into a lot of debt fast.
I mean, if people do it, that's on them. That's all I got to say. But
so you're just saying you're waiting for your big break so you can sell anything to your fans. That's all I know.
I would never sell nothing, but I'm not other people, I can't answer what other people do in this world. I just could tell people like, hey, like, they're athletes. You can admire what they do on the field, but just because this is the thing that a lot of people struggle with.
But they do have influence, Maddie.
Like, that's why they're being paid to show up to these places.
No, I understand that, but I can't. Who cares? Like, what can anybody do? Like, what do you want from them? What do you want from people? People believe all types of shit. Everybody has
goddamn integrity.
Integrity of what?
Don't promote scams.
Of not pushing your
Everybody
fans.
Promotes scams, music, sports, entertainment. It's all a scam. People.
What are you talking about now?
Who cares?
What's the scam with music, sports, entertainment?
I'm saying like, if this is older than what the story can be done in another 5 years, another 10 years, another 20 years. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't feel like these guys are scumbags. It's just life. People, if you want to pay for that shit, that's on you. I don't know what to say. But like, so if you believe in any of these athletes or entertainers or actors or this, that's on you.
Right. So you're saying if you're gullible enough and you are a fan of these people, then you deserve.
I'm saying it doesn't matter. I've heard this story 100 times throughout the 100 years of life. There's athletes that are super religious, that are super crazy, that donate money to super weird causes that I don't agree with, but I can still admire what they do. And it's like,
I'm not saying you can't admire what they do on the field. I'm just saying it's just kind of a bullshit move. That's all.
Okay, it's a bullshit move. I mean,
I know you were upset when Turnstile got their commercial on.
No, I was actually happy.
Were you happy for them?
Yeah, I was very.
Until he started wearing the mesh shirt, that's when you flipped on him.
That's when when they kicked out the guy that wrote all the sick riffs, even though he tries to sell his sneakers used on Instagram because he's a drug addict. That's where I lost.
That's cool. That's the shit I want out of my celebrities.
Exactly.
I want you to be drug addled and selling your fucking sneakers because you've pissed away everything.
Yeah.
That's okay. I accept that. You're a junkie.
I'd rather Saquon Barkley was trying to sell like synthetic crack that like a lab made.
Right. Like, hey, try this crack.
This story is going to happen in a year, and it's going to happen another year, and happen another year.
You just got to point out that they're scumbags.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
We're all scumbags.
No, just those guys. We're not all scumbags. You're not using your influence.
Brett Favre's a legend.
And a scumbag.
A legendary scumbag.
And a scumbag. Yeah. That's like a Sports Hole, hang his jersey from the Sports Hole rafters. That's, Aaron
Rodgers hang it too. Yes.
Yeah, scumbag. Aaron Rodgers back.
He's back.
Although I feel the story is going to change in the next day or two. Like, he's supposedly signing with the Steelers. We have no details on this shit. What's that, Jim?
I read an article that he's on his way to the Steelers camp right now.
Right, he's probably riding
they
a
play the Jets
burro
week
there. You know,
That's gonna be fun. They play the Jets week
he's
1.
probably literally going to set up a tent, an ayahuasca tent on the field.
I don't want to say anything bad. It would be kind of funny if, like, second play of the game, he tears his Achilles again.
That
It'd be kind
like
of
the other
funny.
one.
It'd be kind of funny.
It'd be fucking hilarious. It'd be really good.
At the Jets?
But we'll stick with Philadelphia for a moment. Kayvon Thibodeau, he claims that there are statistics showing that Eagles fans are idiots. Do you guys agree? Do you think that is a real thing? And how would they measure? How would you measure a fan's idiocy?
Wait, what did he say?
He said there are statistics that show Eagles fans are idiots.
I don't know how you would.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, what would the metrics be?
I'm into the X's and O's, bro.
Do you have like the fan bases take before entering?
Here he is talking with Kevin Hart.
New York Giants. Is it true that Eagles fans are actually like not smart? Not like no bullshit. Like I know you're one of them, so I get it. Like 2.2, I get it.
What do you?
There are like statistics that you guys are like literally.
I mean, can I?
Yeah, he's talking to Kevin Hart, big Eagles fan. Kevin Hart, call him a dipshit right to his face.
Which fan base do you guys think would be the dumbest fan base?
The dumbest? Oh, Ohio State University's fan base.
No, in NFL.
Oh, in NFL?
There's dumb people in every state, so none.
Yeah, but Matty, what's the dumbest team for the fan base?
The Eagles, because they're running a scam, obviously.
Yeah. I might agree. I don't know. It's hard. It's
Jaguars?
Jaguar.
Like run the dumbest team
Florida?
run or the Cleveland
fan
Browns?
base. The fan base is the dumbest. Like filled with the dumbest people.
Okay.
You can't do that because there's like smart people and dumb people
That's why
everywhere.
we're guessing, Matty. We're just guessing.
I don't like having fun like this.
Come on, Maddie. Alienate some people right now.
I can't answer it. Maybe
Come on, pick a city where people suck.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of maybe a delusional fan base, but it's really hard to find. Like who's like a really delusional fan base?
It's funny because like Buffalo wears like some sort of, that kind of thing on their sleeve, so you can't even count them.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, fuck, we're gonna wrestle, we're gonna go through tables. So
yeah, that's a self like.
I'll say the dumbest is the New York Knicks.
They know makes it not them.
You think the Knicks fan base?
Yeah, just because they celebrated after winning 2 rounds like fools, and they got their ass handed to them in karma. So
that's probably a smart bet.
That Timothy Chalamet.
Fan bases.
I mean, they
so
celebrated.
Now are we?
Like, I've never seen a team celebrate so hard winning 2 rounds. It was crazy.
Oh, I know. It's like we are back. Like you were never
garbage at Windhorst, threw garbage at a firefighter. So they look pretty dumb. And then there's people that are probably Knicks fans that are really smart. So like, I don't know.
That's a smart move, man. You pick like one of the biggest fan bases. You're gonna get the most dumb people. I respect that. That's a good move.
It is funny that like East Coast big cities, there's a real weird redneck contingent in certain East Coast big cities. It's strange because you don't see that on the West Coast because everybody sort of had to move there, but the East Coast people have been there forever, a lot of them, and you get your rednecky neighborhoods. Even though they talk with the East Coast.
I'm really liking how the Pacers are doing, by the way. They're fighting.
Pacers within 4, under 6 minutes to go.
They're fighting, baby.
Fighting my way back. Hey, speaking of fighting, do you remember the Olympic boxer, the lady boxer, Amain Khalif, and everybody thought she was a man?
I do remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, they claim that whole kerfuffle was because she like there was they were blaming like the Russian lab or something like that and during a world boxing match or some shit. And then it leaked that like, yeah, she's definitely a dude. Like
what leaked?
I don't know. Like the World Boxing, I don't know. One of the because there's like 4 or 5 boxing organizations, and one of them leaked that and named her by name. So now, which they shouldn't have done because what they're doing is they're implementing like you have to take a gender test, and they're saying she failed one. Like it was pretty conclusive, you know.
So what about so as in your other organization?
No, I don't know. Like, but now she's skipping an event that she was supposed to be in, like next week, a boxing match. So I don't know what's going on with this, but
Well, I guess
it's a
we'll
weird
find
time.
out more. But
Maddie, have you ever taken a gender test?
not that I know of.
Oh, jury's still out, I guess.
Although I did have a weird moment. Every once in a while, I'll sign up to a dating app.
Yeah.
And I don't read the fine print. So I was like, fuck, I'll go on Bumble for a day or whatever because I'm bored. And I didn't realize I signed up to Bumble Friends. So every person I was swiping were guys, and I couldn't figure out how to switch it until I realized it was for friends. And I'm like, God, I'm stupid.
Well, so did you make any friends?
That's my story.
Did you make any friends, Maddie?
No, I just deleted it.
Were there any guys you're like, I could be friends with that guy?
Dude, I don't know. It didn't last long, but I'm loving what the Pacers are doing here now.
Did you guys see what Tinder did or is thinking about implementing, I think?
What's that?
Yeah, the height thing.
Yeah, that you can specify who you're looking for by height.
Yeah, and I'm really short, and I'm like, dude, just got to see my face. You don't even need to see the height. Just see my face, and you'll swipe left. It's, you know. So don't worry about it. I like somebody said to me, like, aren't you pissed? I'm like, no, like they never pick me anyway because of my face. So what does it matter?
Well, it's so funny too. I mean, that's not I always thought that was so frustrating when I was on those things and the girls would be like, no short guys. And I'm like, that's not fair. Like
you know, I don't care because I'm exactly
they don't have to list their weight. It's dumb.
Well, I'm exactly the person that gets fucked by that, but at the same time, I realize like it's human nature to like things that are attractive. Women find tall men attractive. It's just the way it is. I can't fight against it. I'm not gonna fight against nature. So like, if a woman feels that way, then like, what am I gonna do? Be mad at every woman in the world?
No, I'm with you. I wish people would be as honest as possible on
and I'm the guy that's hurting the most.
Listen, no matter who you are, as my friend Randy says, you are someone's fetish, okay?
Exactly.
So you will find somebody.
And it's very normal that women are into taller men. It's just a fact.
Jim, how tall are you?
I am 6'0".
6 flat.
Exactly.
Okay, very cool.
I'm 5'4". I'm a midget.
That's not midget, Maddie.
I'm the world's tallest.
Maddie, has a grown man ever thrown you?
No, yeah, actually, yeah.
We should have a Maddie tossing event.
We gotta get Maddie. You gotta get with
the Pacers to pull this fucking game out.
You gotta get with a girl who's like 6'2", 6'3".
That would be sick.
I hooked up with a girl once that was like 5'11".
Oh, Maddie,
that's hot.
One of Maddie's funniest jokes is due to his height. I won't blow it for you because I think he still do it.
What do I say? I don't even remember.
The phone books one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I'm doing a show in Solano Beach on Saturday too.
Oh, dude, I wish I could go. I love Solano Beach.
Yeah, it's so nice. If the track was open, I'd say we go and we just sit and bet on horses and sit out and talk and then get the place at a restaurant. It would be a nice little trip.
You've been to the Belly Up Bar there?
No, but
it's a great place to watch shows. I've seen several shows there.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be right by the club we saw Ween too, because they said it's across the street from the racetrack.
It might. Well, that was. I think it's a different one because Ween was down in Del Mar.
Yeah. Well, Solano Beach is kind of Del Mar.
Yeah. All right. Maddie, you want to talk about the Stanley Cup at all?
Yeah, sure. I think this is the first time in 30 years that a Canadian team will win it. The Oilers won in overtime yesterday, 4-3. It was a great game. I think the Oilers, it's the rematch of last year where Florida won in 7. I think this year the Oilers win. And Canada celebrates the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid gets his ring or his cup. But Florida is a very good team, so they'll put
I think
up
it'll go
a fight.
7.
I think Oilers in 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think Oilers in 7
Okay.
because they win
The
it.
one
They get
thing
to win
that
it in Canada.
the Florida definitely has is a better goalie, and they're more playoff made than Oilers. The Oilers are more can't miss foul shots. You cannot miss foul shots. So I love the Oilers in 5 or 6. They're up 1-0.
Baseball is getting automated ball strike system for 2026. Are you happy
No
about
more
this?
umpires.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they would have umpires for like outs and things like
Yeah.
that, but
I mean, look, tennis is going that way. It's just like the times are the times, man. If you can get it right with computers, you can get it right. I mean,
AI is taking over, baby.
apparently ABS still involves human umpires calling balls and strikes, but each team is given 2 challenges through which they can have a call confirmed by technology.
okay, cool.
So there's still the human element for now. I don't see that lasting though, because once this,
I do hope when
who's
those
going to
things
want
happen,
that? If you have a more of a scientific way to do it as opposed to an arbitrary guy, like Angel Hernandez.
I do think when they have a system, they get it done fast because I'm not worried about whether it's going to be right or wrong. The problem is are we going to sit there for 2 minutes
with the review?
Yeah.
Well, the review probably has the review will go around the technology. It won't go around you just doing a replay of it. Jim, are you there? All right. He's
pretty beat up.
He's this poor.
My phone is kind of like heating up a little bit.
It's because it's all this spicy talk.
He's been in the ER for 72 hours straight.
Right?
Not straight. I worked today.
Oh, yeah, no, you didn't.
All right, guys, let's just fucking head over.
No, you didn't. I love this dark side.
Dark side of the ring. This was really funny. Mark Julian Kopani, aka Muhammad Hassan.
Muhammad Hassan.
This was a nice one to end on.
Yes.
It was interesting.
Different.
It was very funny.
Yes.
In ways that maybe you're not supposed to laugh at, but I was laughing hard. And it was a good story overall.
It was, and it came at a different angle, and I related to it, and I'll get to it. I made this about myself, and it's a look at wrestling that they've covered so many things: drug addicts coming back, pain pills, this, steroids, scandals. This is a little different because this involves an angle that can catapult your career from scale 2 to 10. But it comes with such a disgusting price, which was basically his career.
All right, so Mark Julian Kopani joins the Ohio Valley Wrestling at 21. He was trained by Jim Cornette himself.
Yep.
I didn't even know he actually trained people. I thought he just
he does it all.
Smoking. What can't
get
Jim
that rebound? Sorry.
And he was a fast riser. This guy was athletic. He had the look. He could talk. Gets called right up by the WWE to play an Arab terrorist character named Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah,
and of course, when you get that
watching
call,
wrestling at this time, so I wasn't aware of this.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things where he's wrestling in a developmental league. He's got all the talent, and they see that, and they see he's got a little dark complexion.
He was
And with
very
the time-
dark.
With 9/11, they're like, "Hey, let's make this guy into a terrorist character."
Terrorist.
And he's going, this is really stupid, but I can be in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, you got to do it.
Here we go. I'm going to play some audio, a little bit of audio from his first vignette.
Hello. My name is Mohammed Hassan. I am an Arab American. I grew up right here in America. But since 9/11, you people tend to generalize or stereotype people like me. But I implore you, please don't confuse me with acts of terrorism here in America and around the world. I am asking you people to please just give me the opportunity to represent you in the WWE.
So, starts out as like a nice,
Praise.
But it kind of has that feeling like where he's going to turn, Like
here's my favorite
bad
Now
guy.
please be respectful.
This is my favorite one here, where it's like
This
a
is
nice
where I grew up.
suburban
Right
neighborhood.
next door
Get that
to
rebound.
all of you. I went to the
time
same
out.
schools. I ate the same food. I even watched the same television shows. And there was never any animosity
Kids are
between
playing,
us.
throwing leaves around.
Not until 9/11. 9/11 changed everything for me and my people. You look at us differently now. And don't say you don't. Be honest. All I want is a chance.
And then they do one like
Don't judge
at
me because I'm of Arab
at
descent.
like a corner store. Too.
Judge me because I'm English. Just like many other Americans of Middle Eastern descent. He came to this country.
I love those.
I know they're
it's just
so
poorly
hilarious.
done. It's just lazy. It's bad. I hate it. I mean, it's so uncomfortable. It's not what people go to wrestling for. And I know sometimes they like to mirror real life, but these are things that were going on at the time of our country that were very difficult on all sides and just doesn't belong in wrestling. And really sad they put this guy through it again.
So they were testing this character out in Ohio Valley Wrestling. He teams up with a guy named Sean Davari, who's actually comes from an Iranian Persian family, and so he could speak Farsi, which of course is going to scare every American.
Yep.
And Persians are not Arabs either, too, which is also they were playing Arab terrorists, and neither one of them was an Arab. This thing.
So stupid.
I don't know if you caught this, but they were testing the characters out, and they're like, apparently when they were doing promos and talking to the crowd, they're like, "We're going to raise the price of oil." Just a baller move. So he finally debuts during a promo with Mick Foley's in the ring talking about supporting the troops. And then Hassan comes out with Sean. They start, doing their thing. And again, it was very much a, hey, don't be picking on Arabs. We're good people too, kind of thing. Don't get us mistaken with terrorists. And he also had to live in the kayfabe. So he
Horrible.
He would walk around with like his turban thing, and I don't know what they call those. They're not turbans. It's just the
they're I know the head garment.
It's in the Middle East.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's a kafia. Yeah. Headscarf, I guess. It is sort of called a turban too, but it's not the turban like
I've heard kafi or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
so it's not like the turban somebody from India would wear. Anyway, so he had to like this was like Soul Man.
Yes.
His life story was like Soul Man.
5 seconds, just so you know. 3, 2, Pacers with the ball to win. Yes. Yes.
The Pacers won that game. Maddie's glitchy.
Let's go, Maddie.
Wow.
I told my brother-in-law to put $100 on the series.
All right.
So the Pacers just scored with 0.3 of a second to go.
Good for you.
Take the lead. Haliburton, he's my boy.
Is it? It's not. So it's not over.
They call it timeout, but I don't know what they can really do with 0.3 of a second.
Oh my God! Sorry, Muhammad Hassan.
Sorry. It's just
God. Is this as if
disrespectful?
As if Mark Julian Copani has not suffered enough in this lifetime. He has to deal with you interrupting a story.
I know we're ruining his moment.
All right, we'll go on, Maddie. Just make sure to interrupt when the game's over. So he's at a bar one time, and when they were doing shows in Australia, and he gets surrounded by a group of Arab Australians and threatened, and he's like getting really scared. He's rising up through the WWE ranks very fast. Other wrestlers are getting totally jealous of him. Even confronted Eddie Guerrero, because Eddie Guerrero was using the camel clutch, which was his, of course, because if you're an Arab character, you got to use the camel clutch. So he had to go to a thing called Wrestler's Court. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
That was pretty ridiculous. So like the Undertaker just hosts Wrestler's Court.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like the judge and jury. And he said he was out of pocket for that, and he had to pay $1,000 in drinks that night for all the boys. And then Guerrero wasn't mad with him anyways. He's just like, you don't know it's okay. You're young. Don't worry about it. And then all of a sudden the dude gets to wrestle Hogan at WrestleMania. Like this trajectory was nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, he just shot right up the ranks. And then the character got more radicalized. He started to have henchmen and doing the simulated beheading symbol. And there were actual beheadings going on at the time too, with journalists and other, I think military personnel was beheaded as well. So that was like, he was getting pushed super hard. And a lot of people, like, they claim they were going to put the strap on him. They were going to make him a champion at some point. But unfortunately, the London bombings occurred, and they had ran a pre-recorded show with, the heavy terrorism, and Muslim exploits that they were having him doing. And I think it was UPN that SmackDown was running on at the time. And they're like, no, we cannot fucking host this shit anymore. So he couldn't be on network TV, or he couldn't be on cable TV or network TV. He ended up doing his last match with The Undertaker. Undertaker threw him in some pit in the stage. And that was the last anybody ever saw of him in WWE. So that was it. And now the Pacers have won.
Yes, they have.
Congratulations to Maddie. 1/4 of the way towards $300.
Sorry.
So after he was done with wrestling, he spirals into depression, and that's when the pills start. Nope, just kidding. Not this one. No pills for Mr. Copani. He goes back to school. He becomes a UPS driver, becomes a teacher, worked his way up to principal. Now he's head of human resources. He's very happy. He's still in shape. And Jim Cornette thought this was great, that he got to avoid all the wrestling pitfalls and got a very nice life with a nice wife and kids.
Yeah, always good to see a happy ending.
Yes.
Luke, you nail it with like one of the wildest trajectories. And I feel like he had almost nothing to do with it himself.
No.
No, he didn't.
He's
I
kind of
mean,
along for the ride.
you know, when he got called up for WWE, you can't say no because there's no other game in town. That was
No.
after WWE owned everything, you know?
It's the biggest opportunity that, like, people say, look, it's a shitty gimmick, but you cannot pass this up. And he kind of knew that. And it's like he must have been so confused because you're hating what you're doing every day and you feel horrible about it and you know it's horrible, but you're getting these opportunities that you dreamed of. Like, he grew up loving Hogan, like knowing Hogan from WrestleMania 1, and you're getting that opportunity, and it comes with a price for sure. But
Everyone's got their price.
yeah,
Yeah. And it turned out, it looks like he still does go to wrestling conventions and wears the headscarf too,
yeah.
which is kind of
That's pretty
funny
neat.
because he was pretty like progressive about this. Like, no, you shouldn't be portraying characters of different cultures and
No,
things
he
like
knew. I could tell he knew, and it's the reason why I relate to it is like years ago. I know I'm
that.
gonna
All
make this sound.
right.
No,
Cue up
here
the
we go.
music.
And when I did the Dwayne Wade thing, I was working
Well,
for an
explain that.
ad
Some people
agency.
might not know what that
Yes,
is, Maddie.
I did a bunch of commercials where I played Dwayne Wade one-on-one. Never expected this to happen in a million years. So I worked for Converse sneakers, and we would come up with ideas. And me and this guy came with an idea of, like, what if I just call Dwayne Wade and leave obnoxious messages on his voicemail saying I want to play him one-on-one. We just thought it was stupid. Converse loved it. And they're like, this is the funniest thing ever. We want to do something with it. So I go to a meeting and, like, I'm going to play the guy. And all these big guys that, like, never talk to me in the office love it. And they come in, they're like, we're going to do this with it. You're going to be real. You're going to be real all the time. And they're talking about it like I'm not even there because I was new and they didn't really have respect for me. And they're like, there was one time they even said, like, oh, he's going to come out of the rafters like, like Owen Hart did. And I'm like,
Just
you
like
realize
Owen
I'm
Hart.
you
Just
realize I'm a
like it.
human being. So there was a lot of things I didn't want to do that they made me do, and there was a lot of things I was uncomfortable with, and it was always, we're giving you the biggest opportunity of your life, this and that. Like, how can you, like, even? And I didn't have fun with it. I was very nervous. I felt my heart was beating when I wasn't
What,
doing it
Maddie? Why didn't you have fun with it? It looked fun. The commercials I watched.
because you're under a lot of pressure where people are like, you got to play this character, you got to play it, you can't fuck up. A lot of things you have one take to get it right, and they'd be like, you got one take to get this right, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
So it's never like I was having fun. I just thought I was going to do some funny sketches.
Yeah.
And then when they were like, you're going to be this real guy, they had me go on dates with these girls, and they're like, they told me to tell these girls I was rich and this. Do you know how uncomfortable it is when you, like, talk to these girls and you're like saying how rich you are and
I
you're
think
got
I think if you're playing a character, that's funny as hell.
I
Actually, I
know,
would
but they're
love to do
looking at you
that.
like a scumbag, and it just was really uncomfortable. And there was pressure, and I know, like, he had it a million times worse, but I understood what he was going through
Yeah.
because when you're nervous to do it, like, you got to do it, but, like, when it comes on, you got to be that person. I was that guy, and I did the best I could do. And the project didn't hit, and I was fired right after it. And a lot of it I was fired was because, they probably didn't think I was grateful, or I was like, not agreeing on everything I was doing. And then I was like, okay, we're done with him. And that happened to this guy, where what sucked for him is, if this character fails and it got phased out, which it did, he's done, because how is he going to reinvent himself?
I'm surprised that
Once
didn't take off. It was really funny.
the character,
Yeah, I liked that idea. It was funny.
his, I don't know, it's pretty bad. It's horrible.
No, your character. What do you mean?
Yours, Maddie. Your character.
Maddie, what are you doing?
Everybody's texting me about the game because I gave all these people. I said,
Well, we're doing
Pacer,
a
I'm
show here,
sorry.
Matthew.
This is exciting.
I think I know why you were fired
I'm a
now.
gambling loser. What do you want?
I know why you were fired.
You know why I was fired? I was fired because the guy I worked with too that came up with the idea. Me and him were like partners. He started resenting me just like the people started resenting this guy. It's a horrible situation. I was the new guy, and it was like, oh my God, like people start
Well,
resenting
Maddie,
him.
they do a series, Dark Side of Comedy. This parallels that.
Well, I related to it. I'm sorry if I made it about myself, but I saw like what he was going through, and I knew it's so freaky right before you go in. Like when he
Yeah.
has to go out there and he has to tell everybody that they're disgusting Americans and all this shit and get everybody like
Oh,
where
I would
not
love
not
that. Oh my
like they
God,
want
that'd
to
be the
kill
funnest
him.
shit.
I don't know. Not
Oh, are you
fun.
kidding me? That Andy Kaufman style of just
So good.
yeah.
You guys think you would enjoy it, but it's not as fun as it looks. And I was hated. The first video I did, you can look it up. It says drunk billionaire attacks Dwayne Wade in a parking lot. So we did a viral video where I attack him in a parking lot, and everybody believed I was real, and they're just like, rich asshole thinks he gets what he wants. This piece of shit. Fuck.
Oh my
Everyone is like,
God, dude.
That's hilarious.
That's so
it
funny,
hurt my
dude.
feelings.
But
Maddie,
Maddie,
come
it's not
on,
really
dude.
you.
I understand that, but at the same time,
Listen, Maddie,
I
like,
took
But you don't have kayfabe to worry about.
no,
right.
it,
Like, I'm
it
sorry,
freaked me
like your
out.
experience was that good. I would really hope though that someday you could look back and just think it's kind of a cool thing you did.
Look,
Though.
I'm not easy to deal with too, and I'm sure they realize that, but like it was really hard being in meetings when they don't listen to you and they're like, you're gonna do this and that, and they don't understand that like somebody's still gotta play it like I'm a human being. And this
Yeah,
guy, trust
you're
me,
an
he had it
actor.
a million times worse than I did. A million times. So I felt for him so much because I knew once this thing like it had an expiration date, and once the expiration date happened, they were done with him. And that's
Yeah,
what makes and it's like, how dare you uh how dare you, Stephanie McMahon, all these fucking assholes treating him like shit. They should write him a $10 million check. They should write him a $5 million check to him and a $5 million to the school board that he works for and donate
yeah.
it to the school
Honestly, it is a
and to
weird
the
version.
fucking kids.
It is kind of a weird version of human trafficking on
Yeah.
some level. It's like,
Because they used him and
Yeah.
they knew that
yeah,
like that this was not going to last long and they were going to milk this as long as they could until people were finally had enough of it. And then it was like once they did, they said, all right, fuck you, you're done and your career's done.
but it all ended positively. It worked out. The guy still has a functioning body,
Yeah.
loving wife and kids.
I mean,
And
she's
he's a
gonna be
It's
like
a
really,
having a
great
pretty nice
story in
job
that.
too, like other than what he does.
Because when he
yeah.
was saying how he was in LA, I'm like, oh my God, he's just going through hookers and drugs.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you didn't talk about LA, but it just sounded like he needed to go there and like fuck whores and do a lot of drugs. And then it seemed like he got his shit together. And I was like, thank God, because how
He
many
actually, I don't
wrestlers end
picture
up,
him doing that. He sounded like a
yes.
very well-adjusted guy, though, like
Maybe
he
Mhm.
he got
seemed
a
like
lot
a
of system.
family guy.
Very intelligent,
Yeah.
very, and it's just so sad, but God bless him for getting his life together. And WWE, make it right to him. Donate money to him and then send him a check. And if I'm
I
sorry, I
think he's
made
all
it
right. I
about
think he's
myself.
better to be never associated with him again, to be honest. So, all right, you guys got anything to add before we get out of here?
Those Pacers just made my dick hard. I'm so sorry this happened. You guys missed another incredible Haliburton miracle comeback down by 10 with 5 minutes to go. I'm so happy I'm laughing.
I'm gonna save the fuck out of him in game 2.
Hey, Jim, suck these nuts.
No,
Wow.
man, I'm still
But
with you
I'm
that they're gonna
still
win the series. I think it's just gonna be in like
look, yeah,
6.
they'll probably get killed game 2 because you want to
Yeah,
steal one game, but hey, they're known for getting game 2 too. They steal
that's fair.
2.
That's fair.
They're magic. I just could feel that there was something magic about this team.
UFL playoffs Sunday.
All right, don't forget. All right, Jim, please get some sleep.
And my best to your Mrs. XFL, Jim, and much love.
Thanks,
Love you,
boys.
Jim.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for another exciting edition of the Sports Hole. Bye-bye.